couple of things I think whenever you're setting out for these things, no one knows you better than you know yourself, and I thought, well, I've got a kind of encyclopedia of stuff up there in my head. I'm not very good at articulating it, getting it across, and friends of mine have said that maybe we should get into coaching, and maybe I will one day, or not, we'll see. But I thought, well, the first quote was, that I'm a crap marathon runner. That wasn't quite the word that was used, but so that's kind of really the stem of that motivation. The other bit is the great from the sub 2 hour project with Kipchoge, and he said, I don't know where the limits are, but I'd like to go there. And I think it's a fantastic quote. And I think sometimes you've really got to take yourself out of your comfort zone and have a good go at something. And like I say, it's more about the process. There's a great Alan Watts quote where he said that life is not a journey. And he uses music as a comparison, is that you don't go to listen to a symphony for the final note. You just listen to the music throughout, and then the music ends. So the implication that life is a journey, that there's a destination of some description, you're kind of missing out on the process and the parts that have gone before that. So his quote is that you should listen to the music. And that's really kind of what this is about, is getting that, getting something from the process, understanding myself better, work a little bit on the self-esteem and self-worth, and I think you've got to get a handle on these things sometimes with yourself, and this is something that is holding me back too much, and has held me back in the past, and I need to stop that, really. I think that once there was something I wrote to myself once, which is enough is enough, and I think that's kind of really what this what is about. And one of my favorite things I say to our little one is, and my wife as well, is that life is do or don't, choose. So you and however much this sort of scares me, and putting it out there so openly, that's a healthy thing sometimes, isn't it? You kind of you can't get out of it then. So plan, I'm dribbling on. So we know the date, so spring 2022. Couple of things that I sort of know I get right. So one is nutrition. So I'm not particularly worried about that. We those of you seeing the food that we eat really well. That I'm not worried about. I just need to make sure that I keep the calories coming in the right way, and eat when I'm hungry, and just keep the loads of the green veg, and all that. You guys know all that sort of stuff. The thing I'm really about though is hydration. And I do really need to concentrate on that this time, and make sure that after a session that not only the proteins get in, the electrolytes, but you just that pure hydration, just water, help those muscles repair, rehydrate for the day after. And of course we'll be getting into the warmer weather coming, hopefully, kind of coming into the spring and through the summer, and it's particularly important to drink all the time rather than just when you're thirsty. So that's kind of the real focus this time round. Good thing I'm working in a running shop with access to really good products, and I found with SOS is a big winner for me. So I tried salt tablets in the past, and SOS really just kind of tick the box. So it's a little bit pricier than the things you can get, but it really works. So that's the kind of key thing. Motivation, so that's the kind of the next thing to look at. So we've got the quotes, they're kind of top of my little black book page. But reading I think is particularly important. So I've had some great books, and certainly in terms of the plan that I'm working through and working on for the marathon itself. I think the more you can read, I think the best coaches really are coaches that can be flexible, understand what you need as a runner, and what makes you go faster, which is the whole point of it. In the end of the day, isn't it? You want to be able to go faster, and it's understanding what you need in particular to help you do that. So, you know, some great books that I've read in the past. So we've got Bob Glover's Competitive Runner's Handbook, the first book I really got about running. I absolutely love it. It's a brilliant. If you want to write your own programs, it really teaches you to how to do that, what you need to mix in there. A great, really fantastic book. Of course, if you're a runner, you've got to read some Lydiard. Again, just about, you know, again, another great thing to read. Particularly enjoyed that one. Other bits I liked, so this book by Toby Tanser from a few years ago, More Fire, all about the runners in Kenya. Fantastic about, you know, the coaching philosophies, the athletes themselves, how they train, and there's a great couple of chapters at the back of the book with different runners right across the distances, so from 5k, so by me from 800, 1500 right the way through steeplechase, 5k, 10k to the marathon, and there's some schedules in there and some coaching advices and different hints and tips. I found that one really, really good. And then again, stuff up, you know, loads of stuff I've read online. You know, Brother Colin, Renato Canova, Ed Eiston is a coach that I've read a lot about before, and again, a lot of things that he has to say are fantastic. So you can read, and you know, YouTube is a great source for a lot of information. You can find lots of different things, and I think that's really what it is. You kind of get that encyclopedia, and you feed into yourself bits that you think you will need. So I'll use that over the next year. The big thing for me really though is strength. I mean, I said the back issues before just because I was neglecting my strength and conditioning, and I really need to fix that this time. So we've been, as I said in my first video, I've put in yoga, which I found is just fantastic. So I'm becoming so much more mobile through the hips and the lower back already, and the strength in the core is really improving. So that I've been doing that 3 times a week, just a little half-hour snippet, and I found that really is already starting to make a big difference. And I can feel myself just, you know, my posture's better when I'm running, when I'm getting tired, and there's still work to do, but it's already mixed. So that needs to kind of stay in there really. We've got, actually with anything, you need measures of progress. So the key thing at the end of this year will be 10k and a half marathon. So naturally that 40 minutes has got to get broken for 10k. That 40:03 was so irritating. I mean, how can you not find 4 seconds over a 10k course? That's just nuts. So so that needs remedying. And of course, a sub 130 half. If you can't do 130 half, you're not going to run a sub 3 marathon. So so they're really kind of the real measures of success towards the end of this year. And I'll probably pick some races end of the summer, kind of into the autumn. We'll find a good 10Ks, a couple of really fast 10Ks locally, and a good half. So we'll get in there and have a good crack at it, and then we'll get an idea then really what we need to focus on in the winter. But I say for the moment now, it's just keeping the work doing, and I'll do a video next week about what we've been working on in February, and how things have gone so far. The big thing I want to get out of this as well is it's not about the mileage. So it's about making it a road. It's about doing the sessions, recover, and then go again. And that was a kind of a big thing I got out of reading the Renato Canova bits that I read, and that's probably what I'll follow for my marathon schedule this time. Is just that philosophy of that kind of typical 7-day period. It doesn't have to be about a 7-day period, so that a lot of you know that there's no one session in a marathon makes a difference. It's the collective together. Psychologically, a session can make a difference, to kind of make sure you feel you're on track. But overall, physically and physiologically, it is all about the collective together. So kind of the Renato Canova philosophy is more thinking about the long term, that you can do harder sessions that people would consider to be too hard, but then take a longer period of recovery. So you're still actively running through that period before your next hard session, but that might not be within that 7-day week. It might be a case of you'd stretch that into the following week, and then you naturally progress through the program so that you by the end of it you're running the bulk of your work at or around that marathon pace, and obviously the duration of that gets longer. And when I've read that, it just clicked again. I thought that just seems to make a lot of sense. And I say the key thing really is not hanging up too much on how much I'm running a week. It's about making sure the sessions get in, and the runs between those sessions are about recovery. So as long and as hard as they need to be, and obviously other parts of it to keep dipping into those other energy systems, so your VO2 and your threshold. Obviously, working at marathon pace, you're working away from those. And as you know, a lot of you know that those kind of key parts are about making a runner fitter and more efficient. So you need to keep tipping into those through the program as well, and having a slightly longer program too. So obviously, a typical marathon schedule is about 16 weeks, and I'll probably follow something similar to that this time, 16 to kind of 18 weeks. But it's the work that goes in before those 16 weeks that will kind of pay dividends really. So it's making sure that I'm fit, strong, and healthy before I start a program, but obviously not overtrained, so that the program itself gets you fit for that marathon. The next thing I wrote in the plan was to have fun. So I love a challenge, like I've already talked about. I need sometimes you need a focus, something to kind of keep working towards it, and then kind of prove that feeling, that inner demon, if you wish, that voice, whatever you want to call it, prove that wrong, that I can do something, and certainly the just missing the 40 minutes in the 10K, again, I was one of those months I was really proud of that, even though I missed it, because I hadn't expected to do that. And I remember my second half marathon, Reading, I'd set a target of going under 140, so I'd run 2:04 was my first half marathon, sorry, and I wanted to go under 140. So I'd done a whole years of training before that, and then over the winter, focused on going under 140, and that was sort of, and on the day, I know this, I did 138.5. And again, I just, against one of those moments where I was so chuffed I'd done it, and that's kind of really what I wanted to get out of this marathon, was that it doesn't matter whether I go for 3 or not. It's the work beforehand, and getting into that kind of shape, and then having a good crack at it, and not being so worried about it. And part of the, I think, kind of battling those demons is that comes in my running sometimes, is that kind of that self-destruction, if you like, can often bugger things up. So we can work on that through this program too. Record the process. It speaks volumes. That's kind of part what I wanted to do here, and set up a YouTube channel and kind of bore you all to death. But it was the important part of being uncomfortable doing something, and doing something I hadn't done before. So it's kind of what I wanted to do. So that's really kind of the book of what I wanted to talk about today, and hopefully I've not. I realise how long this video is going on, but I'm enjoying it so far. Enjoying the work that I put in. Enjoying the challenge and enjoying the focus. And certainly the videos I've made so far, is some lovely feedback, and thanks very much. I'll keep them coming forward. I'll do more running content, not just always talking, and some bits. The food stuff doesn't seem to have gone down too well, so I'm not offended. So we will we'll change it a little bit. That will make it more running focused. But I just want to say, thank you all for the words of encouragement. I know a few of you kind of sort of raised your eyebrows and gone, wow, okay. And a couple of friends have reached out and said, oh, well, okay, you can do that. Maybe I can do something with my running as well, which has been lovely to hear. And it's always nice that you can make a difference to those around you. And I wish you all the best and good luck. Hopefully, with Boris's announcement yesterday, the kind of the light coming at the end of the tunnel, and I hope that we can all get out and about and do a bit more together as the year rolls on, and then hopefully we can get racing at the end of the year, which would be quite nice to have a focus and something to actually get our outlet of energy. Time trials are okay, but not quite the same as getting putting a club vest on and having a good race. So I'm going to close the video off today and say, thanks again. Stay safe out there, guys, and make sure you all take care of yourself. And I hope you're all enjoying your running. Take care.